All right, y'all, we did it. We got through all those different categories of people that will approach you while you're on your way out. And today we're going to talk about the power of your testimony. So, everything that you witnessed, everything that you experienced, being able to turn your past into power. So, I absolutely love this, right? So, the idea is not just to think about these things as a really rough part of your history, but now how do you transform it into just leaving it behind? Yes, it being part of your story, but not being the thing that defines you. And so the power of the testimony really is that you are able to bring awareness, right? You're able to bring awareness, you're able to bring clarity, you're even able to warn. So if anyone else is thinking about faith, or they thought, oh, hey, yeah, I actually wanted to check out that church, you can let them know, big no, stay very far away, stay clear. If you end up being approached by anyone from there, this is a setup, right? So the testimony that you have now from going through all of this can be used in great ways. So you may talk about this in different ways. Not everybody does it the same. I felt very called to go publicly about some details, and then for anyone who is also trying to go on their journey to figure things out and head out, I would give more in-depth detail into what I saw, what I experienced, just the whole nine, and just giving the pieces of my story that's necessary to help someone come to a decision. So that was how I did it. Some people get online, they share it publicly and openly. You'll most likely tell it to your friends or your family, the people that you know, because it's part of your story. They just might ask you how you're doing, and here's what you have to talk about, right? So however you tell it, it will be great for someone. And I want to talk about something else within this too, because part of the testimony is not just talking through the events and, what was going through your mind through all of it and things like that, but a big part of testimony is moving forward. It is it's growth, right? So when people who have not arrived at the same decision that you have yet, right? And I was mentioning, we want to forgive everybody. We want to forgive the people who came at you with the rah-rah. We want to forgive people who you thought would defend you in your choice when other people wanted to talk bad on you or whatever it is. So I always am like, forgive everybody. And so basically the power of you growing also helps those people who may have been afraid, who are secretly, because there are people like this, they are secretly thinking, hey, I actually need to go out too. They do understand you, but they've spent a lot of time trying to rationalize a lot of things. So when you, first off, you tell your story verbally, but when they also see that the story of progression and growth being shown through what you're doing now, that actually helps people, because one of the huge things that stops people from doing the good that they know that they ought to do is uncertainty, right? It's what is going to happen in the future. Because I can't see the end of it, the end doesn't look good. The sacrifice that I'm going to have to make to do this decision, it just seems like I'm losing more than I'm gaining. them seeing your growth and your path and hearing your story is going to bring hope to people. So that's one of my favorite things about having a testimony. It's bittersweet because it's like, man, I really wish I didn't have to go through or see that, right? Because again, I didn't even go through a whole bunch of stuff. Like, again, I was 99.9% chilling. My move was more so of like, I'm witnessing a lot of things and I can't stand for it. Like, this is not morally acceptable. It's not acceptable in terms of like biblical standards. Like, it just wasn't acceptable. And then I might have had like a few, I don't know, one-offs here and there where I noticed that there were things of control, directly towards me. But again, that you're not talking to an angry former member or anything like that. I'm more of a witness to things than I am a person who's experienced them, I would say. So yeah, but just getting back on track, you may not have wanted to go through any of these things or to witness or see it, but the idea that it could be transformed into something positive, not just for you, but for someone else, that is something that I absolutely love, and what fuels just how I operate with people that I know. I know that I coach now for a living full time, but in general, I love to support people. I love to serve them. I love to inspire people and give them hope. And so I don't mind, having to have gone through that. That doesn't oppress me. Anymore. That doesn't have to be this thing that hangs over me. And it doesn't have to be the thing that hangs over you. So I hope that through everything that I'm sharing, that's also giving you, the viewer, a lot of hope, and that it's giving a lot of validation, right? Because there are other people who have gone through this stuff and have been gaslit, and they've been, they've just been talked down to or talked at, and it made them seem like, I feel like I'm on an island by myself. Like, I feel like no one else can understand me. And so that, as you're trying to just live your life, like, that hangs over you as well. Like, you're trying to, you kind of end up being, I don't know, I guess, is the word confusion the word I'm looking for? For lack of a better word, I'm going to say confusion. But I think there's something else that I'm trying to say with that. But you know what I mean? You just kind of feel lonely in all of it. So that's why it's so great to speak up, and your story is known, to validate other people, as well as help those that are still at a crossroads, struggling to understand and know something. And as you're coming out, you're doing your thing. You're relearning all that stuff. You also come together with like-minded folk, right? So one of the things that makes people hesitate is the loss of community. But you can regain community by pushing forward. Now, the pitfall to that is there are people who have come out of cults, and it's almost as if even still after coming out, the cult still runs their life in some way. So what do I mean by that? It's like the memory of everything holds on you so strongly that that's all you can think about. Maybe you're always gravitating towards videos and testimonies of people that came out, and and it's not even so much about like, let me hear the freedom story, but it's just like this reminder of like, yeah, those people were so bad. You know what I mean? So sometimes you can get addicted to some of those why I left XYZ organization stuff, or you can come into different groups that that celebrate the leave, but again, they're so fixated on what is happening with that organization. And I think while it's good to be in the know and to know some of these things as a method of validation, what you don't want is to just always constantly be thinking about these things, right? Because you left and life goes on, and your life is meant to go on without these people. So that is my encouragement. In other words, we can say you want to have a group or community of support, but not necessarily people who are like kind of, I mean, I hate to say it, it's almost like a victim mentality to always be so fixated on what's happening there, even though you've left, and to just make that always a topic of conversation. And so I'll talk about more of that point in the next video, but the good thing is you will find those people who are moving forward in their life, who have left, who understand you. You can support them, they can support you. And so what the false community that you did away with, you can now replace with a real, genuine, and healthy community. So I encourage you, open your mouth. Do not stay silent about that. The people who perpetuate the system or operate in the system, they want you to shut up. And I'm saying do none of that. Open up your mouth. If you know it'll help somebody, open up your mouth. Because this is the real way that change or conviction is even going to come upon people who put systems like this together too. Awareness must be brought. So don't be afraid to open up your mouth. Let no one muzzle you. So that's really my huge encouragement to you and point of this video. So that is it for today. Really, really short. I'll come back on the next one so that we can continue going through this journey and giving you the tools that you need and just setting you up so that you can live your best God-ordained, purposeful life. All right, so catch y'all on the flip. Let me know if you have any comments or feedback for me. And y'all know what it is.